Now, a shocking story out of Haiti tonight where President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated by a squad of gunmen and his wife wounded in an overnight raid at their home. Now, the killing has sparked unrest, chaos, confusion in a country that is already grappling with violent crime and poverty and protests against authoritarian rule. We'll have more straight ahead, but also tonight, Iran is raising more concerns after they now say they have further enriched their uranium. Now, State Department spokesperson Ned Price said it was, quote, another unfortunate step backwards. Well, actually, it's more predictable than unfortunate. This is what a weak foreign policy begets. It emboldens our enemies. But remember, it's this administration. They want to go back to the most insane Iranian nuclear deal ever and want to go back to the status quo and not hold the mullahs in Tehran accountable for its export of terror as the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism, and their refusal to ever negotiate in good faith, any place, anytime inspections. That would be a pretty good start. Meanwhile, still little clarity from Team Biden amid a wave of cyber attacks against U.S. cyber infrastructure. But don't worry, Biden said, quote, after he took his time, ordered his ice cream, I'm late because they were just briefing me, and what am I going to do about it? They've made me write it down. Let me read it. I will personally deliver the message to Vladimir Putin himself when asked about his plans to send the Russian leader, whatever that means. Anyway, then look at China tonight. Remember, Russia and China are providing the Iranians weapons to fight their proxy war in the Middle East. That is a dangerous trifecta there. But in China, Beijing is making more threats. Their geographical ambitions are on full display. Now they're threatening the United States. They're threatening war to any U.S. action defending Taiwan. They're planning on reunification with Taiwan. And then ask yourself, what weight do any of Biden's words carry when they see his struggles, when they see his lack of mental acuity, alertness, awareness, and when they see his lack of a clear foreign policy vision? Here now with reaction, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. All right, so you got cyber attacks from Russia, the Iranians enriching again. You got Russia and China providing the Iranians arms, and China is now saying, yeah, we're going for reunification, just like they shut down Hong Kong. It's about to get worse. And if you mess with us, we have 1.5 billion people, and we will take out your military sites. What's Joe going to do, Senator?
I don't understand President Biden's foreign policy. He keeps talking about rule-based order. I don't know what that means. Nobody's opposed to rules-based order. That would be like opposing golden retrievers, but I don't know what it means. The question he needs to be asking is, what does America want from its foreign policy? I know what I want. I want a foreign policy that helps create an America in which people can continue to prosper and Americans can live their lives as they see fit. And as a moral principle, I want that for every other country. How do you achieve that? 2 rules. Number 1, don't be a bully. And number 2, don't tolerate bullies. I'm talking about Iran and Russia and China. How do you achieve that? Weakness invites the wolves. The reason bullies will fear us is because America is the strongest country militarily in all of human history. We're also the wealthiest country in all of human history. We need to maintain it. President Biden is undermining it. He's proposing massive tax increases, which will destroy wealth. He's spent and is proposing to spend trillions of dollars that we don't have on things we don't need. Number 2, he's proposing to cut the military. We need to be increasing our military spending. Number 3, 6 months ago, Sean, we were on a glide path as a country to energy independence. President Biden stopped that for sure. Number 4, he needs to tell his people to stop apologizing for America. We have nothing to apologize for. We're not perfect, but we're good. When his UN ambassador in her first speech to every country in the world at the UN in New York says that white supremacy is woven through the fabric of America's founding principles, that's not helpful. You mentioned Russia. Here's what we need to do with Russia. President Biden told Putin to stop the cyber attacks. The cyber attacks have continued. He needs to hit Putin with a serious cyber attack. Two wrongs don't make it right, but they do make it even. Number two, meaning President Biden, needs to reimpose sanctions on the Nord Stream 2. You mentioned Iran. Iran knows what we want. No nuclear warhead, no missile technology, and stop exporting terrorism. President Biden needs to give Iran 6 months. We'll continue to talk with them, but no more than 6 months. And if Iran doesn't agree with additional sanctions, President Biden needs to hit them so hard that even Google can't find them. China?
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You have Putin gets a waiver to build his pipeline while simultaneously canceling jobs at the Keystone XL pipeline. You have the Iranians, he lifts the sanctions. And to be very honest, I think it now becomes a pivotal question. Is there a good chance that the $1.5 billion Bank of China deal that zero experience Hunter got might have compromised the Biden family with China? And what will Joe do when the reunification with Taiwan comes, Senator? And my last part is 57% of Americans, 58% of independents, a third of Democrats believe Joe's not running the show. Do you believe he's running the show? Robert Cahaly in
Sean,
Convention of States. Yeah.
I don't know. I just judge the man by his actions. President Biden is responsible whether he's running the show or not. And I can tell you with respect to China, it's also true with Iran and Russia. Weakness invites the wolves. If he wants to get President Xi's attention in China, President Biden should do two things immediately. Number one, he should negotiate and sign a trade agreement with Taiwan. Whoa, that will get China's attention. And number two, he needs to publicly back Australia. Australia has tried to stand up to China. China is boycotting all Australian goods, and Australia sends a lot of its exports to China. We need to come to the aid of Australia, and we need to speak loudly and clearly and tell the European Union we expect their help. I
agree with much of your analysis. I don't see it happening.
There's one other thing we can do, Sean.
Last word. Go ahead.
This is going to be controversial. America needs to vaccinate the world. You don't have to take the vaccine if you don't want it, but it's the right thing to do, and it will make friends all over the world. And every vial, every syringe needs to have made in the USA on it.
I think for the sake of the world, to give people that option, that shows, once again, I would argue we showed it all throughout our history. We abuse power less than any great country. We advance the human condition. We share such invention and innovation scientifically, medically with other countries for free. I would say that makes America not perfect, but good. Yeah. All right.
Let's show the world what American leadership is all about.